Ever looked at your phone and wondered how your favorite apps actually get made? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to demystify the entire world of Android development. We're breaking down the roadmap from a simple idea all the way to a real, working app. Let's get right into it. No, I mean, really think about it for a second. That game you can't stop playing, or the app that orders your coffee, it all started as just an idea, which then got translated into lines of code. It almost feels like magic, doesn't it? Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and show you exactly how the magic happens. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get a bird's eye view of the whole Android world. Then we'll open up the developer's toolkit and check out the must-have tools. After that, we'll look at the 4 core pieces of every single app, take a peek inside a project's anatomy, and finally, map out the path from your very first line of code to a finished creation. Ready? Let's do this. Okay, first things first. What is Android really? At its core, it's an operating system that Google built on top of Linux. But here's the wild part. It's not just for phones and tablets anymore, not even close. Today, Android is the brain inside our TVs, our cars, and even the watches on our wrists. It is everywhere. And just get a load of this number. Over 3.3 times million apps on the Google Play Store alone. That's not just a statistic. It's a massive universe of opportunity. It's a whole ecosystem just waiting for the next big idea. And hey, that could totally be yours. Right, so we have this huge ecosystem, but how do you actually build something for it? Well, like any craft, you need the right set of tools. So let's crack open the essential toolkit for every Android developer out there. And here it is, Mission Control. This is Android Studio. Think of it as the all-in-one workshop where everything happens. It's where you write your code, design your screens, test your app on virtual phones. It's even your launchpad to the Play Store. Your entire journey from A to Z happens right inside this one program. Now, inside every single app, there's this really cool partnership going on. Think of it this way. On one side, you've got the blueprint. It's written in a language called XML, and it decides what everything looks like, the layout, the buttons, all the text. But a blueprint can't do anything on its own. That's where the brains come in. Using a language like Kotlin or Java, you actually bring that blueprint to life. You tell the button what to do when someone taps it. One is the skeleton, the other is the soul. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. It doesn't matter if it's a tiny calculator app or a giant social media platform. They are all built from the exact same 4 fundamental pieces. If you can wrap your head around these 4 building blocks, you'll basically understand the heart of every Android app in existence. So first up, we have activities. The easiest way to think of an activity? It's just a single screen in your app. When just scrolling through your photo gallery, that's one activity. When you tap on a photo to view it full screen, bam, you've just launched a new one. It's the part of the app that you can actually see and touch. Next up, we have services. These are the silent workers, the ones doing things behind the scenes. You know when you're listening to a podcast and you switch to another app to check your email, but the audio keeps playing? That's a service, working away in the background even when you can't see the app's main screen. Then there are broadcast receivers. Think of these as your app's ears. They're constantly listening for important announcements from the phone's operating system itself. Things like, hey, the battery is low, or we just connected to Wi-Fi. Your app can then hear these messages and react accordingly. And last but not least, content providers. These are the secure gatekeepers of data. For example, if your new photo editing app needs to access your phone's contact list to share a picture, it doesn't just go in and grab it. Instead, it politely asks the official Contacts app's content provider, which then securely shares that information. It's all about playing nice and keeping data safe. All right, so we've got the 4 core components.
But where do you actually put them? Let's take a look at the anatomy of an Android project and see how everything is neatly organized.
So when you open up a project, it kind of looks like a super organized filing cabinet. The manifest file, that's the app's passport. It tells the Android system what the app is and what permissions it needs. The Java folder is where the brains live, all that Kotlin logic we were just talking about. And then you have the res folder, which is like a treasure chest. It holds all the non-code stuff, images, the XML layout files, colors, text, you name it.
Now here's a concept you probably never even think about. Every single screen in an app has its own life, a life cycle. It's not just on or off. When you launch a screen, it's born. It gets created. As it appears, it starts. When you can interact with it, it's resumed. The second a pop-up appears over it, it gets paused. Switch to another app, and it stops. And when you finally swipe it away, it's destroyed. A big part of a developer's job is managing what the app does at each of these moments.
Look, theory is great and all, but at the end of the day, development is a hands-on skill. The absolute best way to learn is by doing. So let's map out a clear, project-based path that takes you from total beginner to pro.
So how do you learn all this? One project at a time. You start simple with something like a calculator app that teaches you the absolute basics of UI and logic. Then you build a to-do list app, which forces you to learn how to save user data. After that, maybe a news app, which challenges you to pull in live data from the internet. See the pattern here? Each project adds a new, crucial skill that builds on the last one, until suddenly you've got the toolkit to build something really complex, like a social media app.
Whew. Okay, we've gone from the 30,000-foot view of the Android universe all the way down to the nuts and bolts of a project. So let's wrap this up by recapping the key ideas you need to get your journey started. And there you have it. You've officially got the mental map of an Android developer. You get the partnership between the blueprint and the brains. You know the 4 essential building blocks that make up every app, and you've seen the project-by-project path that takes you from zero to hero. The entire landscape is now laid out right in front of you.
So, with this whole roadmap in your head, there's really only one question left to ask. What's your idea? What problem are you going to solve? Or what cool thing are you going to create? Your journey as a developer doesn't start with code. It starts with that question. Now, go build it.
So there you have it. We've successfully uncovered the basics today. I hope this journey has sparked your curiosity and added a valuable piece to your knowledge puzzle. If you found this exploration useful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to TechieWick for more insightful discussions.